Hi everyone, this is going to be a very tough video for me to make. It's been a while since I have been in front of the camera talking to you guys, and a lot has happened since I have, sat down here and made a video face to face with you guys. I unfortunately have very sad news. My mother passed away July 3rd. This has been the most difficult thing I've ever had to go through. It was very unexpected. It was not something that, we knew that was coming, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm gonna go completely into the whole story. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through the video without crying. It's only been a little over 2 weeks now since she hasn't been here, and as a lot of you know, I am an only child, so I have been extremely close to my parents ever since I was young. My mother called me every single day of my life, just to talk and say hello. She did not go a day without not calling, and same with me. If I didn't get a phone call from her, I would call her, and we were just so close. And when I go yard sailing, I was always with my parents. That's what we did. And I went last week with my father, and it was really hard, her not being there. And then I went to one alone, and it was the most loneliest thing I have ever had to do. It's not something that I'm used to, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible knowing that you don't have a mother anymore. She's not there. I can't call her. I can't hear her. I can't hug her. I can't tell her that I love her. I can't hear her tell me that she loves me anymore. And it's just the worst feeling in the world. I don't know if anyone can relate. Maybe also has lost a parent before. My mother was 58 years old, and that's really young. That's, she God, this is so hard for me to do. I apologize. I'm just trying not to cry. Anyway, I guess I'll explain everything. My mom, she hurt herself at work one week, and she was having pain in her back. It wasn't going away, this pain that she was having in her back. And everyone, absolutely everyone just thought, it was just pain associated with her back, just, your muscles, stuff like that, nothing serious. She was at work the one day, and I guess it just got to the point where she couldn't even continue to work. She had to go tell someone, and then they took her to the doctor, or made her, go to her doctor. And they were like, well, you need to go to the hospital, and for whatever reason, they made her go to the hospital. And they, just did the routine, I guess, routine blood tests, stuff like that. And I guess her blood came back, something was off. And I thought, at this point, she was in the emergency room, and I wasn't really all that really concerned, you know what I mean? I just figured, oh, she has back pain, whatnot, it'll go away eventually, she'll finally get some sort of medication will help, because the medication that she was on was making her sick, and stuff like that. It was Tylenol, codeine, and I think she was having she was getting nauseous from the codeine that was in it and whatnot. So anyway, I wasn't thinking it was serious. None of us were. And when her blood test came back and they said, you know, there was some sort of weird level having to do with her liver. And I thought, okay, well, it was probably like the medication she was on. Like, still not really freaking out, like thinking it's something to do with something, you know, nothing serious. And the doctor comes in and he, you know, is explaining like the blood test and things of that nature, and he ordered an MRI, and I still wasn't thinking anything serious, you know, it's like it's just back pain, you know. And when he comes back with like the results of the MRI and stuff like that, and he's throwing around the word cancer, and I'm just still at that point like, whatever, this doctor doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. My mom doesn't have cancer, she's fine, you know, she was just at work. The only thing wrong is her back, you know, her back hurts. Still just wasn't, you know, really all that, like, you know what I mean, it just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't sinking in, like it couldn't be happening kind of thing, like just not believing it. So I was getting a little upset, like angry at the doctor, like how can you even throw around that word if you don't know for sure, you know? So she was admitted to the hospital and they did, you know, some MRIs, CAT scans, stuff like that for 2 days. The next day they say she has cancer. It's cancer. My mother has cancer. They don't know where it started from. So they're, you know, the doctor's talking all like these hardcore medical terms. Like, I have no idea what the heck they're talking about. Like, oh, we need to do a workup. A workup, what the heck is a workup? Basically, it's to find out where the cancer started. The doctor tells me, you know, she's just full of cancer. Just everywhere. Like, everywhere. Like, my mother was just at work. She's been working and you're telling me she's full of cancer? Like, how does this happen? How can you be perfectly fine one day and the next day the doctor's telling you that your mother is just full of cancer? Like, you can't wrap your head around something like that. And so, you know, I'm just flipping out, like I have no idea what's going on. I'm in like a daze for, you know, just every day. I'm just in a complete daze. Like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, what is going on? What is going on? Like, this shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? And so they ordered her to get a colonoscopy. That came back fine. There wasn't any cancer in her colon. Then she had to have a liver biopsy, and there was cancer there, and we went to a actual specialist, an oncologist, and he diagnosed her with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And at this point, my mom is getting weaker and weaker and weaker as the days go by. I was just praying that she'd get strong each day, you know, like getting her appetite back, getting stronger. And instead I was watching her get weaker every day. And when we were at the oncologist and we called, you know, the big name hospitals, and no one wanted to do treatment on her because it was too far gone and she was too weak to be able to get any kind of like chemo or radiation or anything like that. She could barely go to the bathroom herself anymore. Like, she couldn't even stand up on her own 2 feet. I mean, she was just completely bedridden. It just, every single day, just whittled her down more and more and more and more. And she eventually got admitted back into the hospital because, you know, I had to start thinking about getting hospice to come in and help with things, because I don't live with my parents anymore. You know, I've been moved out for quite a number of years, like 7 or 8 years now, and it's just my dad, and he, you know, was trying his best to be there and like do everything to help her. you know, get her to the bathroom and, you know, get her fed and everything like that. And it just got to the point where I had to start thinking about getting someone in to help. The doctor, the oncologist, the specialist, he gave my mother 6 months to live. And she was admitted back into the hospital shortly after. And I just was watching her grow weaker by the day, just her not being able to do anything for herself. And I'm thinking, like, you know, she's suffering. She is just suffering so bad. She was in so much pain, couldn't do anything by herself anymore. I mean, she couldn't even get out of bed to go to the bathroom. That's how bad she was. And I just knew in my heart that she wasn't gonna last 6 months. Like, there was no way in hell that she would last that long. And as horrible as it is, like, I didn't want to see her have to live like that for 6 months. The day, and this is like one of the hardest things to have to, you know, just know the rest of my life, but my mom was in the hospital and she was going to be discharged at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We had plans. The ambulance was going to bring her back home. I had Hospice come in with a hospital bed and an oxygen tank and everything that she would need to, you know, live the rest of her life comfortably at home. She was to be discharged at 2 o'clock. Me and Dad were at their house getting everything set up for her, her bedroom, all set up for her to come home. And I got a phone call from the hospital. The doctor called and he said my mother passed away at 11:35. I'm just thankful that I'm the one that answered that call. My dad, if he had answered that phone call, he probably would have collapsed. I know he would have. I just grabbed a hold of his arm so tight and he just knew, and he just started bawling. And my aunt and my cousin went out to buy nightgowns for her so it would be easier for her to go to the bathroom instead of having to take down, you know, her pajama bottoms or whatever she was, you know, sleeping in. And I had to call them and tell them to put the nightgowns back because she wasn't coming home, and we weren't there. We weren't at the hospital. We weren't there when she took her last breath. We were at home getting everything ready for her, and that kills me inside knowing that I wasn't there. I wasn't there for her when she needed me. And it's just like, that is gonna eat me up the rest of my life, knowing that I wasn't there. And I don't want her thinking that we weren't there because we couldn't, you know, because we couldn't be there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want her thinking that she was alone, just left to die in a hospital when we were trying to get her to come home. And the evening I went home from the hospital when I was with her, and, you know, she was getting to the point, and if you know all of the signs when someone's dying, you know when someone's dying because you read the stories, the signs that people exhibit before they pass away. And she was exhibiting all of the telltale signs, but I just thought, you know, she could hang on for until 2 o'clock at least 2 o'clock to come home, like at least that night or something. Like, I was just hoping that she could hold on. And the evening before I left her that evening to leave the hospital, I told her, I said, you know, Mom, I said, you're going home tomorrow. And she said, I know. And it makes me wonder, like, did she mean she knows now that, you know, I remember her saying it, did she mean she knows that she's dying the next day? Like, did she see something? Did she know something? Or did she just, you know, mean like she's aware that we're taking her home the next day? It just makes me wonder sometimes like what she meant by that, because right after I told her that she was going home tomorrow, she asked me, she said, she was very adamant when she was saying this to me. She said, "Shell, but what time? What time is she going home?" And I told her, I said, 2 o'clock, Mom, 2 o'clock. And she passes away at 11:35, and I don't know, she just couldn't hold on long enough, or she had her times mixed up. I mean, I don't know. It's something I will never know. And as I was watching her, as the days went on, like, she was sleeping so much she could hardly keep her eyes open. She was staring a lot, like, you know, her eyes rolled up and back in her head, just like looking up, and fidgeting with everything, fidgeting with her, picking at her clothing and stuff like that. These are all telltale signs, you know, that they're getting ready to pass away. And it's just, I don't know how I survived those days, being strong enough to just, I don't know, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Every day I just thought, you know, maybe it gets a little easier every day, and it's just harder and harder. I can be fine for a while, and then I will just break down. I could be anywhere, you know. I just start crying, just completely racking sobs of just, how am I gonna do this? How am I going to get through the rest of my life without my mother? Like, it's just, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And I've been going to their house every day to be with my dad, make sure he's okay, make sure he's eating, make sure he's getting the bills paid, make sure, you know, that things are still moving, because I know he probably just wants to give up on everything. So I'm just trying to make sure that, you know, he's okay. And I've been trying to like clean up and stuff around their house and everything like that, and I've brought, you know, some of Mom's things here, and just going through things, cleaning stuff up, and I've been finding things that she was gonna give me, but obviously didn't get a chance to. I found these little owl socks while I was cleaning. She was saving these for Christmas for me. I also found some cupcake Valentine toe socks she was saving for me. So it's been, you know, there have been times when, you know, I do get a smile on my face, just little things like that. But then I find things like this. I found this little plaque that says, "On your wedding day, daughter," and it has, you know, a little poem that she was gonna give me from when I get married, and I'm not married yet, and my mother's not gonna see me get married. She's not gonna be able to come to my wedding, at least not physically, and there's a lot of things that my mom is not going to be able to be there to witness the rest of my life, and that's like one of the hardest things. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I just wanted you guys to know, you know, where I've been, what's been going on. You know, I don't know, I thought maybe I'd feel a little better just being able to talk to you guys about everything, because I have been bottling a lot of it up, not really saying a whole lot, because it usually just makes me cry, and I don't like thinking about it because it just upsets me. But I do plan on, you know, I'm still gonna make YouTube videos. I'm gonna just keep on with it. But I just wanted you guys to know, and if you want to share any of your stories, if you guys have gone through anything similar, I mean, I'm super thankful that, you know, I have a loving mother who loved me unconditionally since the day I was born, and that was there for me. I know a lot of people, you know, either never had a mother really, you know, a lot of people, they don't get along with their mothers, and I am very thankful that I at least had the opportunity that, you know, I had a mom that really did care and really did love me. But it's just, I don't know, you guys. This is just the hardest thing I have ever had to go through. There's just nothing harder than this right now. But yeah, I wanted to let you guys know, because you are like my family. Even though I don't really see you in person, I share a lot with you guys, and I definitely thought everyone should know. I know some of you do know because maybe you follow me on Instagram or something like that, or, you know, we're friends on like Facebook or something. But I know a lot of you guys didn't know or don't know, and might have been wondering like why I haven't really made a video, like a yard sale haul and stuff like that. And it was mainly because I hadn't been yard selling. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go before I start crying again. I think I actually did pretty good. I kept it under control a little bit. Yeah, until I turn this video off, and then I'll probably break down again. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I will see you guys soon, okay? Bye.